What up, everybody? You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Hope everybody is having a happy Monday out there, and I hope we're all remembering all the fallen soldiers here on Memorial Day. We live in the best place in the world because of those people. So thank you to everybody out there that serves, and especially to all the ones that have fallen protecting our awesome country. Happy Monday. Hope you guys are doing all right. In today's show, we got a bunch to talk about. ESPN has listed the New York Giants as a top destination for DeAndre Hopkins. We're going to break that down in today's show. And coming out of the first week of OTAs, we kind of got to look at the injury report, I would say. We're going to talk about Sterling Shepard, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Darrian Beavers, and some injury news on those guys as they had their seasons cut short last year. Then we got a mailbag on today's show. We'll be taking your questions as long as you use hashtag Giants or Super Chat. Let's get started with the show as we always do, though. Shout out your city for me down in the comment section. I want to know where you guys are watching from. So drop your city down in the comment section, and we'll give you a shout out here on a beautiful Memorial Day here in Dallas, Texas. Let's go. I'm excited for today's show. I had the day off, but I came in on my off day, and I was like, you know what? I want to get all of the real ones a live show today. You guys have been real ones all off season long, and I was like, you know what? I can give them an off day for the real ones. Came in, get you guys a video, so appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with the gang. What up, everybody? Got a bunch of people voting in the poll already. That's what we love to see already, 134 votes there. We got 146 people watching here. Love that. We got some people in Trenton, California, Hoboken, Providence, Athens, Rochester, from Port St. Lucie, Virginia Beach, Lakeshore, Florida, via Staten Island. Wyatt's in the chat. What up, Wyatt? What up, Wyatt? Nick's Galaxy's in the Brook. What up? What up? Shout out to Brooklyn. Brooklyn, what up? Brooklyn, what up? Tucson, Arizona. Patterson. Red Hook. New York. New Jersey. Galveston, Texas. No way. That's crazy. Are you in Surfside or actually Galveston? That's pretty cool. Nelson's in the Bronx. Long Island for Corinne. Peru. Dumont. The Bronx. Cranston. Yonkers. SoCal, Charlotte. Robert says, are you at your dad's? No, I'm not at my dad's. I'm at the office, Rob. What up, Rob? What up, Robbie? What up, brother? Sam Lubna coming in with the first super chat of the day. Lubna is in the building. What up, what up? Julius Randall, you don't have to give your address. It's cool, man. I promise you, nobody wants you that bad. But Sam Lubna says, Big Blue. No New York today. No New York today. We're in Dallas, Texas. We're at the office. We're at the office, putting in work here on a holiday. You know what we do. You know what we use. Can you please stop using D-Hop as a caption? Why would we stop talking about DeAndre Hopkins as he was just cut from the Arizona Cardinals and the Giants have been linked to him? Welcome, Patrick Seaman. Seeps, does that make any sense?
No, it doesn't. I think D-Hop, perfect fit for the Giants.
Look, if you want to go listen to a channel that's not going to talk about the biggest news and rumors surrounding the New York Giants, you go somewhere else, because that's what we do here on the channel. We talk about the biggest news, the biggest rumors. So, look, if you want something else, there's always a flavor out there that you want. We got what you need, though. I got what you need. Should the Giants sign D-Hop? Type S for sign. Type P for pass. We'll get back to this in a second because my man Robert Rodriguez.
Double R, baby.
Double R in the building. Maybe I got to go put on the double R jersey right now. Comes in with a $50 super chat with a Sheba dog jumping in the air with fireworks around him. So the deal we wanted to have today was every $100 super chat, we're going to do a beer shop fund. Every $100 in total. We're already at 55. Once we get to 100, we will do a beer shop fundraise. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Let's party here on a holiday. I'm going to do this. Since We already got a little 50-piece. I did bring a shot in. We're drinking tequila here on a Monday. Rob Rod, this is for you, my man. Seeps and I will throw back some tequila shots. Rob, you are a legend, my man. Thank you, Brody. Cheers to you. Cheers to everyone out there.
As it looks like we might have to be doing a beer shop fun race.
Oh, shit.
Pretty
Rob
early here.
Rodriguez back again with another 50.
Oh, no.
Seeps and I did some partying yesterday, and I thought let's just keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, might as well.
Let's keep the ball rolling. Rob Rodriguez back again with another 50. He says, cheers, brothers. Cheers to you, my man. I want everyone to type double R down in the comment section. He has been an MVP here on the channel as of late. Seep's going to go grab some. Yeah, nah, we're good. Shout out to Double R. Shout out to everybody throwing him some love. We're always showing love. We're a big family here at Giants Now. So shout out to you guys. We're going to do a beer shot fun coming up here in a second. But let me know, do you guys actually want DeAndre Hopkins on the Giants? I know a lot of people didn't want to trade for him. I said that's something that I didn't want to do. I didn't want to trade for DeAndre Hopkins. But, man, if he becomes a free agent, I am all in. I believe the Giants could use a number one wide receiver. Could you imagine an offense with Saquon Barkley, DeAndre Hopkins, Darren Waller, and all the complementary pieces the Giants have? Just think about the top-end talent on that offensive side of the ball. You got Andrew Thomas. You got Daniel Jones. You got Saquon Barkley. You got Darren Waller. You got DeAndre Hopkins. Then supplementary pieces, right? You got a good starting center in John Michael Schmitz. You got Jalen Hyatt. You got Paris Campbell. You got Darius Slayton, Isaiah Hodgins, maybe even a Jamison Crowder. This team with DeAndre Hopkins would be a much better ball club than they were last year, and I believe they could actually compete in the NFC. I think they could make a run in the NFC. I believe the NFC is wide open. I think the top dog is the Philadelphia Eagles, and making a move for DeAndre Hopkins would bring you closer. Everyone always talks about the Eagles. You know why? Because they're making moves to put themselves on top. They went out and got A.J. Brown. They went out and got all those players from Georgia. They drafted Devontae Smith. They traded up to steal Devontae Smith from us. How about we add another weapon to the arsenal that we got here on the channel and on the team, I guess I should say. Hopkins, Waller, Barkley. That's pretty freaking good if you ask me. That's pretty freaking good if you ask me. My man Rob says, this is the opportune time to get a wide receiver one without giving anything up but money. I'm sure they can make the numbers work. You can always make the salary cap work. And in today's show, we're going to show you how the Giants can create like $30 million in cap space like that if they wanted to. So in today's show, we'll do that. But shout out to Rob. He came in with two $50 super chats. Every $100 super chat today, we're doing beer shot fun races. Did we do one of these last week? Yeah? Okay. Haven't done one of these in a week. I'm kind of nervous. This is off season. Rob, shout out to Rob. Double R, the man, the myth, the legend.
Also, you guys see my eye. Courtesy of this guy right here.
That's so. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Seeps' black eye? It's not that bad. 1 to 10, black eye. All right, here we go. Type M for Marsh, P for Pat. Who do you think's going to win? 3, 2, 1. Dude, when the Robert Rodriguez, bang! Oh my gosh, they're ice cold. Take some out of the fridge, Seeps. This might be a long one. This might be a long one, and I'm here. I'm here to party. Rob says, I'm making up for last week. Rob, you are more than good, Brody. You are more than freaking good. Rob Rodriguez, a legend here on the channel. $100 super chat. We got another beer shot fun coming. This is going to be a day, and we're here to freaking make it a day. Me and Seeps, we had off today. I called him last night. I was like, yo, Seeps, I got to go in live. I got to go in on the channel. I need to go live for the real ones out there. We got to top DeAndre Hopkins. We got to talk about Sterling Shepard. And he was like, you know what? I'll come in on our off day. So shout out to you guys for tuning in. We already have 210 people watching right now. I would like to do this. I know I ask you guys to do a lot. So thank you. Let's get the likes up, though. I'd greatly appreciate if we did get the likes up on today's show. We got 210 people watching, only 51 likes. If we can get to 100 likes here in the next minute, if we can get to 100 likes here in the next minute, I'm taking a shot at tequila. I'm taking a shot of tequila. We're 32 likes away, and you got about 45 seconds. If you have liked the video, comment me down in the comment section. We're 20 likes away. You got 40 seconds. Can we get to 100 likes? There's no reason. Excuse me. Oh, beer shot fun. We'll do that to you. No reason we shouldn't be at 100 likes. You got 14 likes to go, and you see the clock. You see the clock. 9 likes to go. Hit that thumbs up icon. Let's go. Type me. Don't be lame. Like the video and type me. You got 10 seconds left. We're at 99 likes. Can we get there? Oh, we did. 108 likes. Bang! Shout out to you guys. You guys are the freaking best. Shout out to y'all. I got a shot at tequila. I got a shot at tequila for all the killers out there. All the Giants now killers. Tequila, tequila, tequila. Woo! Let's ride. Let's ride. All right. Seeps. Let's get some questions in. We got a mailbag coming up. We're going to do a beer shot fun coming up in a second for my man Rob. Rob Rodriguez came in with a bang today. And Michael G says, I hope you have a designated driver. Lucky enough for both of us, we actually walk to work.
Yeah.
So if you can get a ticket for walking home drunk, I guess we'd be targets, but I don't think you can.
The one thing, though, we can't get on these scooters. The scooters are back. Have you guys seen these scooters? You can't get a DUI on them.
So they brought back like the electric scooters in Dallas, the Lime scooters and the Bird scooters, and I think that's it. Uber has some as well.
Yeah.
You can't ride those drunk, but we will walk. We walk home drunk. Michael, thank you for looking out for us. We appreciate you, my man. As my dog, Gilly comes in with a $2 super chat. What's up, Gilly? Hope you're having a good Monday. I'm surprised we haven't extended Adoree or Leo, as Slim Cash says, public intoxication, bro. They're only going to give you that if you're acting drunk.
Ain't nobody worried about that.
Yeah, come on. I'm surprised we haven't extended Adoree. We're going to talk about both that in today's show, because if the Giants want to go out and sign DeAndre Hopkins, extending Adoree Jackson and Leonard Williams might be a move that they got to make, and they can make a whole lot of. The Giants can go from $5 million to $30 million in cap space like that if they want to. It's all if they want to. But we'll talk about that in a second. We do have a mailbag coming up on today's show. We're going to talk about DeAndre Hopkins. Then we're going to do some OTA injury news around Sterling Shepard and Wan'Dale Robinson. But first, if you want to be featured on today's show, go ahead and use hashtag Giants or Super Chat down in the comments section. I need all of the real ones to get their questions in for today's show. There's a whole bunch of real ones, like Bill and the Big Moo and Brian and Corinne and Jeff and Rob and James and Jessica and every single body in the chat. We got 230 people watching here on a holiday. Shout out to you guys. Get your questions in the comment section using hashtag Giants or Super Chat. Shout out to Jessica for getting a question in. Shout out to Brian for getting a question in. Corinne, I know, is going to get a question. Devin Booker says the Giants suck. Devin, suck.
Enjoy Cancun,
Yeah,
Devin.
yeah, enjoy Cancun, Devin. Bobby Peters says hello. What up? Rob says, guys, I thought Leo's was restructured already. When did the Dexter signing money come from then? They had the money, and the dead, it's the years after that really affects the cap a little bit more than just this year, Rob, than just this year. You want to knock out that second shot fund real quick for Rob, and then we roll?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Ho, ho, ho.
As we did get a first-time super chatter. As you guys know, if you super chat for the first time here on the channel, we're taking shots. We're taking shots. So,
So sad.
shout out to Jeff for their first ever super chat. Jeff, we appreciate you showing love to the channel. Why haven't we restructured Leonard's contract? Joe Shane made it seem like he didn't want to do it until he was forced to do it. And DeAndre Hopkins being a free agent might be the last thing that forces him to do that. But he doesn't have to. But I think he should. Whether you restructure by, giving him his signing bonus now and lower the dead cap hit or lower the cap hit of the roster, or extending his contract, giving him a contract extension, spreading that out over a couple of years, couple of different ways that they could do that. As Brother Zayla says, let's get these guys sauced.
Yeah, good luck.
Hey, yeah, good luck, number one. Number two,
Yeah.
yeah.
Marsh and I are vets at this.
Hey, every $100 we get, we're taking beer shop funds. How about this? I'm going to put it out there. We got a long way to go. If we get to $1,000 in super chats, we're doing a beer boot race. Beer boot race.
You guys don't want to see me smoke Marsh.
They're not. They don't. They're
You don't
not
want
bringing.
to see me
They're not.
smoke Marsh in a boot race.
Are they bringing that energy today? I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know what Double R is, though.
Double R always has a couple tricks up his sleeve. But if that's what we get, if we get to 1,000, we'll do a beer boot race to close the show. We're already at 200 right now, so we're a fourth of the way there. I guess a fifth of the way there. Math's hard. All righty. These are cold. Put that on your freaking black eye, dude. Seeps was talking a little bit of noise, and I had to give him a quick little pop in the face.
It was an after the play scumbag move by your man, Mark. Threw me an elbow. I had to get him
He was talking noise, and I said, pipe down, pipe down. All righty, the Big Moo, great question. Joe, good question. Rob, no news on Landon Collins. No news on that. We'll talk about. Where can we get the beers from? The beer guns from? It's a company called Shot Fun. Kind of a sponsor, but not really a sponsor. If you just go to shotfun.com, they'll probably get you hooked up. Rob with the question in. Love that. Love that question. Rage getting the question in. Love that. All right, you ready, Seeps? Number 2, down the hatch. We're just keeping the party rolling from yesterday. I dare you. I dare you. I got a beer boot in me today. Test us. Let's go. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness. Woo! Let's ride, baby. What'd he say? Did you two roll out of Knicks? Yep, did a Knicks, and now we're here on Giants, Bill. You know how we do. We're two of the hardest working dudes in the world. Oh, my stomach's on shambles already. Oh, that felt good. You need that burp. You need the burp after the... All right. I think we're settled in. Woo! All right, we'll roll through these super chats and then we'll dive into the show. Gilly, I think we need an edge more than a receiver. I'm choosing Floyd over Hopkins if it comes to that.
Ooh.
We'll save this question for the mailbag because I love this question, Gilly. Gilly, you know how much I want another edge rusher on this team. I don't want to share my answer a little early, but Gilly, I know you'll stick around and be a good sport. I'm going to save my answer for this for the mailbag. Gilly, thank you for being a real one. Primo Miller, what up? He said, is that black eye from riding electric scooters while sauced up? LOL.
No, so Marsh and I, the true story, we were celebrating a little Memorial Day early yesterday. We got in the pool, and then like guys doing the pool, we decided to get a little football game going. And let's just say every single time at the line of scrimmage, we were hitting each other, and it just eventually I actually didn't even know I had one. And then Marsh, like later on in the night, was like, dude, I think you're going to get a black eye. And I was like, all right, we'll wait and see.
This is what happened. I'm going to be honest. He tried to press me up. I hit him with a little one of these, and then I kind of threw him out of the way, and then some guy threw me, and I went like that, and I definitely hit him right here.
See, I had him jammed.
But like, I didn't push through because once I felt face, I stopped. It
was an offensive PI.
There were no flags being thrown yesterday.
Blatant offensive PI.
There were no flags being thrown. So that's what it is. Primo. So no drunken.
No.
Oh, Bill, he tried to press man me.
Oh.
I embarrassed him time and time again.
Bill, Marsh couldn't even get off the line when I was up in him.
He was Patrick Peterson. Now pause. He was Patrick Peterson. I was Isaiah Hodgins.
Oh,
you know the story.
Disrespectful.
You know the story. Jeff back again with the super chat. Jeff super chatted for the first time 10 minutes ago, and he's back again. Jack, you're going to be chasing that initial feeling of when you slid in for the first time forever. So hope you cherish your first time. Do you think Saquon agrees or plays on the tag? Yes. I believe that Saquon Barkley will play on the franchise tag. I don't think he's going to sit out. I don't think he has that type of mindset. I do believe that a deal will get done. I think a deal will get done between these two sides. I feel like John Mara may be putting a little pressure on the Giants to get this deal done, but I think a deal will get done. I think it will. Xavier Powell with their first ever super chat. Shout out to X. Drop your X's in the chat for Xavier. Gilly's already getting it rolling in the comment section. Type those X's in the chat. Show our man Xavier some love. If you super chat for the first time on today's show, we're going to drink some Patron for you. So let's get it. Let's get it.
Just warms your belly up.
Honestly, tequila warms you up. I'm feeling good from the 2-shot funds.
Yeah, me too.
My GI tract is lathered.
I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Sheesh. Woo! Woo!
Pop the molly, I'm sweating.
Woo! Pop the molly, I'm sweating. Woo! Let's get it. All right. Bill says, not going to lie, I got a little early celebration in myself yesterday at the American Legion hanging with the vets. That's awesome. Elite. That's elite, Bill. You continue to amaze me, Bill.
I know, every single stream, Bill just throws me a little nugget.
Bill is my spirit animal.
Yeah.
Bill is my spirit animal. All righty. Let's do it. Let's talk DeAndre Hopkins. The brand we're drinking is Patron. We're on the Patron. Little Patronski.
I got the 1800.
You're on the 18 hundo? Well, 18 hundon. Let's get it. All righty. Should the Giants sign DeAndre Hopkins? Let's talk about it. Should the Giants sign DeAndre Hopkins? I want to hear from everybody that's watching this video down in the comment section. Let me know. Should they do it? Type S for sign or P for pass. Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. In today's show, we're going to explore the idea about the New York Football Giants signing DeAndre Hopkins because he has been released by the Arizona Cardinals over the weekend, which means he is free to sign with whatever team he wants. Also, ESPN and Jeremy Fowler, they put out an article which highlighted the best fits for DeAndre Hopkins, and they listed the Giants as one of the top destinations for the former All-Pro wide receiver. We're going to break it down in today's show, but first, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, because I know this. If the Giants sign DeAndre Hopkins, we are partying on this channel, and we're going to try to break the record here on the stream of Super Chats. You guys are the best, and I know you guys are going to love it. If you want Giants videos every single day this summer, hit that sub button right now. So this is what ESPN and Jeremy Fowler had to say about Hopkins and a potential marriage with Big Blue. They said New York has many supporting players at wide receiver, but no alpha. Is it time to give Daniel Jones an elite guy once and for all? Perhaps Darren Waller assumes that role, but he's a tight end. The NFC East is only getting better, and the Giants need to win may need to win some shootouts. The problem is that the Giants have just $4.5 million in cap space and still need to extend Saquon Barkley. And I know everyone's already watching this video. They're down in the comment section. Oh, my goodness. But, Marshall, how would we sign somebody with no cap space? Thing is, the Giants could create $28.5 million in cap space like that. Like that. They could create cap space like that. You know why? Because the salary cap is a myth. You can always manipulate the salary cap. It just matters how much of a risk you want to place in that. For instance, Leonard Williams. Right now, he has a $30+ million cap hit for the 2023 NFL season. And if you were to restructure his deal, you would save $8.4 million in salary cap space. If you gave him an extension, this is according to Spotrac. You can check him out on Google. Just type in Spotrac. All these numbers will come up for you. If you extend Leonard Williams, you could save 13.4. So 13.4 plus 4.5, that's already $18 million. What about saving another $7.2 million in cap space by extending Saquon Barkley? Right now, he is on your books for $10.1 million due to that franchise tag. You give him a long-term deal. You extend the life of the contract over a couple of years. That $10.1 million in salary cap hit this year could go all the way down to $3 million. A Saquon extension saves you $7. So that's 7 plus 13. That's already $20 million. You want to save $28 million? An Adoree Jackson extension saves $8 million. So you extend Adoree Jackson, you restructure and extend Leonard Williams, and you get a deal done with Saquon Barkley, and the Giants would have over $32.5 million in cap space. Meaning they could go out and give DeAndre Hopkins whatever he wants. Say you don't want to extend, though, any of those players. You don't want to restructure any of those players. You could give DeAndre Hopkins a multi-year deal, where his first year, his salary cap hit is low, like Bobby Okereke was for the New York Giants. You can get creative with these contracts. Say you give DeAndre Hopkins a 2 or 3 year deal. The the salary cap hits could grow as the contract's life goes on. So you don't have to put all the money in just this year. So the Giants could do this in multiple different ways. The question comes down to, how much money does DeAndre Hopkins get? How much money does DeAndre Hopkins want? That's what it's going to come down to between the Giants, Hopkins, or any other team that is interested in him. What I think a deal could look like is very similar to the Odell Beckham Jr. contract. And when you look at Odell Beckham's contract pretty closely, it's 1 year for $15 million, but only 13.8 is guaranteed, and he could have incentives that could get it to $18 million. But look at this. How in the world is this possible? 1 year deal, but his salary cap hit is only $3.9 million. It's because he has void years, 4 void years. In 2024, Odell Beckham's cap hit is $11 million, and it's 2.7, then it's 2.7, then it's 2.7. So you can always get creative with the cap. If you want a player like OBJ, or you want a player right now like DeAndre Hopkins, you can do what it takes if you want to sign him. Question is, do you? So the other destinations that ESPN and Jeremy Fowler put out there, the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs, the New York Jets, the Dallas Cowboys, and the New Orleans Saints. Remember when the Saints had negative $80 million in cap space 3 months ago? It's because they manipulate the cap. Now they have $14 million. So you can get it done. The other destinations that Fowler had for DeAndre Hopkins and ESPN are the Cleveland Browns, the New York Giants, the Atlanta Falcons, and the New England Patriots. So if you want to get it done, you can. Just how bad do you want it? I'll ask you this question. Not if the Giants should, will they, not any of that. I want to ask you this question. Where will DeAndre Hopkins sign? Let me know what you think down below. I believe, honestly, it's the Bills or the Chiefs. I think the Giants are in there as well, but I would go Bills and Chiefs as the top dog. Giants got a fighter's chance, though. What do you think? Where's D-Hop going to sign? Sound off for me. Joe Schoen needs to at least pick up the phone and make the call and talk to DeAndre Hopkins and the reps that he is repped by, whether it be his agent or whoever it may be. Make the call. See what he wants. See if he wants to play for the Giants. Because as much as I love this Giants wide receiver room, none of these players are even close to the type of talent that DeAndre Hopkins is. I'm going to be honest with you. DeAndre Hopkins might be a Hall of Fame player when he decides to hang up the cleats. And I love Hodgins, and I love Shepard, and I love Robinson, and I love Campbell, and I love all the guys we got. None of them are DeAndre Hopkins. None of them are putting up back-to-back seasons of over 200 catches and almost 3,000 yards and 13 touchdowns. Think about it like this, ladies and gentlemen. DeAndre Hopkins played in just 9 games this year and had 64 catches and 700 yards and 3 touchdowns. That would have been the number 1 receiving season on the Giants this year, and he did it in 9 games. And he only missed 1 game due to injury. 6 games were due to suspension. I don't buy into the whole fact that he's some injury-prone player. I believe he can continue to play. He would be the alpha and become the go-to target for Daniel Jones, a guy that can go up and catch it in contested coverage, get open, and has some of the strongest hands in the National Football League. According to Las Vegas, they also think the Giants could be a team that is in on DeAndre Hopkins. So according to Vegas, these are the top destinations for D-Hop. They have the Cowboys at number 1, Chiefs at number 2, then you got the Patriots, Bills, Eagles, Ravens, Giants, Bears, Jets, and then the Cleveland Browns. So the Giants are definitely in the running. Do I think it will happen? I don't know. Is there a chance? Absolutely. And I think they should go out and at least explore that idea. We'll wrap up this conversation in just a quick bit. But first, you guys need to get hooked up with your throwback jerseys for the 2023 NFL season because the Giants are bringing these jerseys back. And I absolutely love these threads. I think these should honestly probably just be the home jerseys for the Giants. But since they're wearing them a couple of times, once again, in the upcoming season, get yours today at this link, chatsports.com/Giants throwback. That's chatsports.com/Giants throwback. You can click this link in the comments and description in today's show. We talked about this last week, but just kind of want to throw this in there because I do think it is important. DeAndre Hopkins sat down with I Am Athlete Brandon Marshall, and he pretty much said what he's looking for in a new team. Stable management. Well, Giants got Joe Schoen, and they love him as their general manager. He's going to be around for a while, so check on the top box. A QB who loves the game. While Daniel Jones may not be the most talented quarterback or the guy that's the most sexy or the most blockbuster name, I believe he works just as hard, if not harder, than every quarterback in the National Football League. He is the definition of a first guy in and last guy out. I could guarantee you this much. Daniel Jones loves the game. And a great defense. Got a great defensive coordinator in Wink Martindale, and you got one of the best front lines in the National Football League with Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, Azeez Ojulari, Leonard Williams, A'Shawn Robinson, Raheem Nunez, Roches, Jihad Ward, Adoree Jackson, Xavier McKinney, Deonte Banks, Bobby Okereke. That sounds like a pretty damn good defense to me. I think the Giants fit all these boxes. Unfortunately, though, Hopkins did name the top 5 quarterbacks that he would like to play with, and for some reason, Daniel Jones is not on this list. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, and Justin Herbert are the 5 quarterbacks that DeAndre Hopkins says he would like to play with. But I can promise you this, D-Hop, if you're watching this video, you would absolutely love Daniel Jones because he is going to do whatever it takes, whatever he has to do, however he has to do it. He is going to do whatever he can do to win a football game. If that means putting together a 90-yard drive and 15 plays against the Green Bay Packers with a bloody hand in London, he's going to do that. Daniel Jones finds ways to win football games. He shows love to his teammates. He outworks everybody, and his heart is in the right place. Hopkins, you would absolutely love playing for Daniel Jones. And could you imagine an offense with Daniel Jones under center, Saquon Barkley in the backfield, Darren Waller outside, DeAndre Hopkins inside, mix in a Jalen Hyatt, a Jamison Crowder, a Sterling Shepard, an Isaiah Hodgins, a Wan'Dale Robinson, a Darius Slayton, Andrew Thomas at left tackle, Evan Neal at right tackle. This offense would be awesome. And the time is now because the NFC is wide open. None of these teams are absolute powerhouse. I know the Eagles are a good football team, but they're beatable. They are 100% beatable. Now is the time for the Giants to strike while the iron is hot. You could make this move and seriously elevate yourself from being a good feel-good story and a good football team to a team that could compete in the playoffs and a team that not a lot of teams want to play with their backs up against the wall. Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Darren Waller, and DeAndre Hopkins. Not too many defensive coordinators are happy about playing that team. So I will ask it again. Should the Giants sign DeAndre Hopkins? Type S for sign, type P for pass. I'm typing my S for sign. As always, shout out to you guys for tuning in to today's show. You're always real ones. You always show love. So help me out. If you made it this far in the video, be a real one and hit that thumbs up icon right below. Like today's video. It's the best way to help the channel. I think you got to do it. I really do. At least make the call. Like you shouldn't act like you're too good for DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, there's no reason. I mean, it would get sticky if we're talking like roster spots at the wide receiver position. Probably need a couple. I can't focus, Double R. I can't focus, man.
Oh, my gosh. I agree, though, Seeps. Like, imagine your 7 receivers are DeAndre Hopkins, Isaiah Hodgins, Wan'Dale Robinson, Darius Slayton, Paris Campbell. Am I missing someone? Pull up the depth chart. Let me see what this is. Rob, we'll pull that up in a second. So this is who you got. And the guys that I think are for sure going to make this roster, Hodgins, Robinson, Slayton, Campbell, Hyatt. Then you got guys on the bubble like Shepard and Crowder and Johnson. Why not just throw in DeAndre Hopkins? Yeah. Imagine if the 7 receivers you had on this roster were DeAndre Hopkins, Isaiah Hodgins, Wan'Dale Robinson, Darius Slayton, Paris Campbell, Jalen Hyatt, and then your 7th roster spot comes between Wan'Dale Robinson, Jamison Crowder, or Bryce Ford-Wheaton. That's a pretty damn good wide receiver core, if you ask me.
You may not have like the top end talent as like a Bengals or anything. We talk about like just full roster.
Like 1 to 7, that's got to be one of the best, especially if you have Waller as your tight end.
Yeah, seriously.
Wild. Jeff, back again with a $5 super chat, says signing Hopkins would be insane. What are the cons of signing a 30-year-old wide receiver? Some cons, I guess, if I want to look at it like that. You should probably look at it both ways, so we'll do that. Cons, probably has an ego, right? He's been around the NFL. Maybe not all in on winning. Injuries, right? Like 30 years old in the NFL. Maybe he has a little bit of an injury history as well.
See, I could also spin zone him being 30 into he wants to win. Yeah. That's all he cares about.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe he's not as good as he was this year as last year, and maybe he's not good as this year as he will be next year. I guess just the father time tugging on his cape a little bit, and then I guess injuries kind of stacking up. That's really the only negatives I see.
And something I just thought about, with how deep the Giants wide receiver room is.
You don't have to have him play every play.
I was just going to say, like, you just need him for December and January and February. That's when you want to get the most out of D-Hop. You can let the young guys, like the Wan'Dales, the Slaytons, all of them kind of, maybe, and the Hyatts, maybe carry the load more in like October, November, September, those months.
This is a chance to get a number 1 wide receiver on a discount. It really is. Primo Miller with a $5 super chat says, as much as I would like to have D-Hop, I'm with Gilly. We need a Floyd type of player more. Also, I'm concerned with our backup O-line's current state. I don't mind our backup offensive line. I really don't. You got Marcus McKeithen. Yeah, you've got some good backup offensive linemen. You can either have Matt Peart or Tyree Phillips, Corey Cunningham, J.C. Hassenauer. I think the Giants' backup offensive lineman is fine, and you got Joshua Izudu as well if Bredson's going to start. Obviously, we don't have any studs on the backup offensive line, but that's the case for most of the National Football League. I'm fine with the depth on this offensive line, to be quite frank with you, Primo. But I'm not going to argue with you. If you want to have an edge rusher instead of Hopkins, I don't think that's a problem, and I don't think that's a bad decision as well. Like, if I had to choose between Hopkins or Floyd, I'd really, really have to think about it. I'll answer that question when we get to the mailbag, but I agree. My man X, shout out to X, sent his first ever super chat just a second ago, and he's already back again. He says, D-Hop will make us a Super Bowl contender. I'm for it. I'll tell you this much. You become one of the best offenses potentially in the National Football League.
Yep.
I really believe that. You have a great offensive mind with Mike Kafka. So
2 tackles, good weapons, good tight end, good backs.
I think now's the time. I think now's the time to at least try. At least see what he wants. My man, Big Dash Knows. What's up, Brody? Big Dash Knows. You can check him out on YouTube as well. I watch your stuff. He does great work. He says, I don't think we can afford him, but not entertaining it is wild. Hopkins demands the respect of the defense, opening up the field for everybody.
Good point.
It's a good point, my man. You could make some moves, but it's going to take some cap manipulation and some risk as well. But if you think you're DeAndre Hopkins away from competing in the NFC East and getting back to the playoffs and maybe not losing by 30 to the Eagles in the playoffs, it might just be worth it. But Robert Rodriguez, bang! A $50 super chat. Rob has been the MVP of today's show so far. He's sending a little emoji, a hippo character wearing cool sunglasses, comes out of a treasure chest tossing coins around.
I really wish we could show that.
We got to figure out a way to do that.
We got to figure it out. We got to figure that out.
We got to figure it out. So we're up to $284 in super chats. We get to 300. We're doing another beer shot fundraise.
Bring in the boys.
We've already done 2 today. If we get to 300, we'll do another one. We're at 285 right now, 284.88. So 15 away. 15 away. We do have a mailbag coming up just around the corner, and this is an opportunity for you guys and me to really chop it up and answer questions that you guys may have. And I love the mailbag because I get to just really interact with you guys straight up one-on-one. If you want a question to be answered, the only way to do it is to use hashtag Giants in your comment or question down below in the comment section. Make it easy on Producer Seeps. Our software will pick it up. We can put it up on screen. We'll get your beautiful avatar and your name up on screen, and we'll have this video go out later on the channel in the week. Or you could super chat. If you super chat and the question is applicable to the Giants, we'll pop it up on screen and we'll talk about it. All super chats get on the show. It's kind of like the fast pass at Disney. You get to skip everybody as well. How are we looking on mailbag questions, Seeps?
I was just going to say, we have a good amount in there. So if you guys want to guarantee your spot, probably going to have to send in a super chat.
We don't make the rules.
Your spot, though.
We don't make the rules.
Or else it's dealer's choice.
Let's ride. Oh, as we did get a couple of super chats in.
This is disappointing.
Why is this disappointing?
I'm going to have to toggle this right now.
Are you going to lose them?
This is going to be incredibly disappointing. I might have to lose Gillies.
Gillies? Is Gillies the last one?
No. It stopped pulling at Xavier Powell. So I'm going to need to toggle these to get the new ones in there.
No way. No way.
I swear to God.
That's brutal. That's brutal.
Let's see if YouTube does me nice. Of course it don't.
No?
Well, we did get Brian's. We got Brian Brown.
Shout out to Brian Brown. Giants fans ruled over OBJ, but unsure about Hopkins. I'm going to agree with you 100%, Brian. 100%. Look,
that's a good point.
Like, DeAndre Hopkins is a much better receiver than Odell Beckham at this point.
It's not even close.
Yeah, and we all love OBJ. Like, we love what he did for us. We have that connection with him. But at the end of the day, DeAndre Hopkins is a better football player than Odell Beckham is right now. Go get him. Like get it done.
Yep.
Let's go compete for a Super Bowl. I really believe Hopkins puts you over the top. I really do.
Especially, is Daniel Jones' contract, I'm not too familiar. I'm guessing it gets more expensive.
More expensive, which means it's going to be harder to add talent down the road.
So this could be a year. You could kind of go all in on it. So
we just showed you how they can create $28.5 million. You don't need that much. You need seven. Seven in a cap hit this year and 7 next year. 1 year, $17 million. You're cooking.
Hey, Gilly, you want to do me a favor? Remember that super chat you asked about either Leonard Floyd or D-Hop? You want to ask that question in the chat right now and just use #Giants for me? And I'll guarantee I'll throw it on the mailbag.
Oh, yeah, our software kind of glitched up a little bit. But, Gilly, if you could, we would appreciate that.
That's a great question.
It's a good question. Bill, same amount as parking at UCLA. LOL. Why not? Let's do it. They're charging $15 for parking.
Jeez, Bill.
That's that Cali tax.
That
Bill.
is that Cali tax.
That's the Cali tax.
That Cali.
Shit, if I can't park for free, I don't want to go. I'm going to Uber if so. Bill, hope all is well with you and your family, my man. Hope your wife is doing all right. I know we had good news last week. Hope that is still the case. I'm still keeping you in my thoughts and prayers, that's for sure. Bill, freaking love you, man. I freaking love you. Xavier Powell, back again with a $2 super chat. My man super chatted for once, and he's back. Guess who's back? X is back. Guess who's back? Shout out to Xavier Powell. He says, just because you're an MVP, my man. You are an MVP. Then a real one. Rob Jigga, would it be wise? $20 super chat, Rob. Thank you for the various generous contribution. He says, would it be wiser and more money friendly to sign JPP over Floyd? Absolutely. Jason Pierre-Paul at this point is a veteran minimum player. I think Leonard Floyd probably wants 1 year, $8, $9, $10 million. Says, I keep hearing Floyd has injuries, or is that just rumors? Shout out to Marshall and Steeps and my cousin Bobby. Bobby, what up, Bobby? OG Bobby. Leonard Floyd had some injury issues, Rob, early on in his career, but I think he's kind of left that in the past a little bit. I'll double check. So in the first 2 years of his career, Rob, he played in just 22 games, which means he missed 10 games in his first 2 years. But since then, he played in 16 games, 17, 17. So if my math is correct, he has not missed a game due to injury since his first 2 years in the National Football League.
And I will say this with Leonard Floyd. This is mostly true for most edge rushers in the NFL, but especially for him, he plays better when he has, obviously better players around him. He was so good with Aaron Donald. I'm not saying Dexter Lawrence could be the exact same as an Aaron Donald, but if you pair him up with all those guys on the Giants' edge, the dude's got 30 sacks in the last 3 years. Leonard Floyd's no scrub here. You bring him on, he'll make impact plays. I actually really like the fit with the Giants, Marsh.
If Leonard Floyd is your third edge rusher behind Kayvon and Azeez Ojulari, you're sitting pretty.
You are. No, really,
you are sitting pretty. Imagine Azeez, Kayvon, and Leonard Floyd as your edge rushers. And then you have Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, A'Shawn Robinson, Raheem Nunez-Roches, Jihad Ward. That's 8 really good players.
That is, yes.
That is 8 really, really good players right there.
With a great defensive mind.
And Wink Martindale. And you wouldn't have to play all those guys all the time. You could rest them up. Dexter Lawrence played way too many snaps last year. He's a great player, and he's a soldier, and he played through it, and that's why he got $90 million.
Yep.
But he played too many snaps last year. So that's why they went out and signed a guy like Raheem Nunez-Roches. That's why they went out and signed a guy like A'Shawn Robinson. I don't mind... what's the guy that they brought back? O'Shane Ximines. I don't mind him. I don't mind Ryder Anderson. I don't mind Tom and Fox, UDFA. But they don't have a legit third edge rusher. And that's a problem right now. They don't have a third edge rusher. And for me, you need one. Because let's be honest. Kayvon's had some injury issues in his career. Azeez Ojulari has had some injury issues in his career. And it's football. Players are going to get hurt. That is just the nature of the beast. Depth is what wins games once the weather gets cold. So, yeah. Bill says, if if we're talking $15 million for D-Hop, I got to think who's more important to the Giants, D-Hop or Saquon. Is my head on straight? The only thing I would push back on right there, Bill, is just because you're paid more doesn't mean you're more important. Does that make sense? Like, for instance, positional value. Like, let's say Saquon Barkley gets $12 million per year, right? Daniel Jones is making allegedly 40. We'll call it 40 for easy math. Daniel Jones isn't 3 times as important as Saquon Barkley. It just comes down to positional value. But you're right, Bill. You pay someone $15 million. That's a lot of cheddar. That's not cheap. But I'll tell you this much: DeAndre Hopkins for $15 million is a steal. He was getting paid $30 million like 2 years ago. Yeah, no, I agree. All righty, we got to 300. We're doing another beer shot fun race. We're at 323 right now. If we get to 400, we'll do another one. I said it. If we get to 500, we're doing a beer boot race today. It's Monday. It was our off day. We didn't have to come into work today, but we showed up for the real ones. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Jesus.
I need to go to the bathroom real quick.
Oh! Robert Rodriguez! Bang! A $200 super chat. Rob Rodriguez from downtown. Bang! Show Rob some love down in the comment section. Type those double R's. Let's get it going. Let's have a party. Let's have a party, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, 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 oh. Shout out to Robert. Rob. Look, we partied yesterday. I came into work hungover. Best way to stop a hangover is just start drinking again. You just start drinking again. That's how you beat a hangover. That's how you beat a hangover. I'm going to call in the troops for some drinking help. Do you want to see if you can get Trace in here? Well, we got to get to 1,000. Yeah, we're doing boots at 1,000. Boot race at 1,000 is what we're doing. We said we're doing beer shop fun races for every 100. We're up to 500, so we owe another one of those. I'm going to try to get someone out from the office to drink up with us. Is Trizzy producing? He hasn't got shit to do. Trace, you want to knock down a beer boot with us? No, not beer boot. Beer bong, sorry. No, I did not mean to say beer boot. Do you want to grab the Freedom? Let Freedom ring, baby. Let's go. All right. We'll do another beer shop fun race, Seeps and I. Trace will join us with the Freedom funnel, and then we're going to get to a mailbag. On today's show. Rob, you're a freaking legend, man. Ooh. Rob. I may owe a boot. Aiden, let me mull that a little bit. Let me mull that over just a tick. I did? Okay. Maybe I did. I thought I meant, fuck me. Aiden with a $10 super chat comes in. Aiden, their first ever super chat. If I said 500, I said it. That's on me. That's on me. I meant 1,000. We'll do it. Fuck it. I'm in. Give me a boot, Seeps. Give me a boot. Here. Check your... James McGrath with their first ever super chat. Everyone's showing love today. James, Marsh, do you think Wan'Dale will be ready for week 1 or start the year on the pup? Seep, random question, but what video switcher and software for your graphics do you guys use for the show? Livestream. The name of the software used is called Livestream. It's called Livestream. James, to answer your question, let's go. So I saw Patty Traina, who covers the New York Giants and does videos for Locked On Giants as well. And we're actually about to talk, James, about Sterling Shepard, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Darrian Beavers. We've got an injury update on all three of those guys. We're going to talk about them in a second. I don't think it's out of the realm that Wan'Dale will start the season on the pup. But I don't think he will. I think Wan'Dale Robinson is going to be ready to go week 1. He told Jordan Renan of ESPN back in January that he's going to be ready to go week 1. He's already working on the side at Giants OTAs as well as Sterling Shepard. Would not be surprised if he started the season on the pup. I think Shepard is more likely to start the season on the pup, James, than Wan'Dale. But I think Wan'Dale is going to be ready to go week 1, week 2, or week 3. Maybe he starts the year on the pup, but I could see him being ready. So, I think he's going to be ready. And I'm expecting a big year from him, James. I really am. He really started to come on in the later part of the season. Actually, the game he tore his ACL, he had over 100 yards in that game. So, I'm expecting big things from Wan'Dale Robinson. I think he's a good player. I think he fits what the Giants want, and I think they have a role for him carved out. He could do some of that gadget stuff. He could take a handoff behind the line of scrimmage. I think Wan'Dale Robinson is going to be a player for the New York Giants. All righty. So I had a little bit of a malfunction. I said we would do a boot if we got to 1,000, but then I said for 500. All right, Seeps is saying if we get to 1,000, he'll do the boot. This is Happy Dad. We got a boot of Happy Dad right here. So you pour 3 Happy Dads into the boot.
I gave you 3 different flavors of Happy Dad, so your stomach may be in shambles after this.
What am I expecting with this?
It's pineapple, lemon, lime, and then I forget the other one. But
I smell a little wild cherry, I think.
It was wild cherry.
Oh, God.
Lemon, lime, and pineapple.
Fuck.
A lot of carbonation in that boot.
All right. Rob, everyone that has super chatted, you guys are awesome.
Bill, I grabbed the first 3 I saw. It was a mistake by me. I apologize.
Rob says, hell no. Wait, why is he saying hell no? Is it because the flavors? My broski, hell no. I don't know. I'm chugging.
Let's go.
To the gods, to the real ones. Shout out to y'all.
Here we go. Going down the hatch. Everybody type chug in the chat. It's Tuto is in the chat with a super chat. Marsh is taking down the 3 Happy Dad boot right now. I screwed him a little bit. Gave him a little pineapple, lemon, lime, and wild cherry. All mixed in the boot. Taking it like a champ. Going down. Here we go. Marshall Green, forget about it. Coming in from Gilly, Chug, Big Dash Nose, type in Chug as well. Shout out to Double R. As I set him up for failure right there. He's toughing it out. Daniel Doval in the chat. Atticus Atikas. Wheeler, shout out to you in the chat. Dash, sup, man. Bill, in the chat still. They're cheering you on, Marsh.
I need it.
They're cheering you on. Everybody type chug. This is the fourth quarter. This is the Giants have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Good. Bill saying you can do it. And he did. He just needed the little support. This is what Marshall Green does. He puts the body on the line for the real ones.
That hurts so bad.
And I'll handle it if we get to 1,000.
I'm going to burp.
But Tuto came in with the $5 super chat saying massive salutes and respects to Big Boss Marshy and all diehard Giants fans in America. And please slap all the Sinky boys, losers, out of, from, do, and forget about it. We'll go there. Shout out to Tuto.
Holy shit.
Shambles?
Dude, yeah, that was tough. Dude, just the carbonation, I feel like.
I also, when you said 500 for the boot, you said 500, I was like,
I thought I said 1,000.
No, well, you were saying 1,000 the whole time, and then we were up there, you said 500, I'm like, Double R is going to do something about this.
I fucked up.
Fucked up?
I fucked up.
Fucked up. But now you guys are going to get a loose Giants experience. That just loosened them up a little bit.
Atticus. I thought it was Atticus. All right, Atticus. Atticus.
Atticus.
Atticus. Atticus.
Atticus.
Atticus Wheeler. All right.
You think they're ready for the latest Giants injury news?
Yeah, fuck. I guess that's why we're here. All righty. Atticus. Atticus.
Everybody type Marshy in the chat. Show him some love right now. We need the motivation. He needs to get locked in. Show Marshy some love.
All right.
In through the nose.
Dude, just right here. All right here. All right. In today's video we're about to do, Giants have already had 3 OTA practices. So we've gotten a little bit of inside info on Sterling Shepard. May have made some calls. And we're going to talk about that in today's show. So let's do it. Let's freaking do it. What up, everybody? You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. The New York Football Giants have already wrapped up 3 of their OTA practices. They're going to be on the football field once again on Tuesday. But we've kind of gotten an inside look as to who's there, who's practicing, how the injuries are looking. So we're going to go, over the latest injury news on Sterling Shepard, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Darrian Beavers, as all 3 of those guys last year tore their ACLs, and they're coming back from them and had their season cut short. They're all still rehabbing those guys. If the Giants had a game today, they probably would not play, but they are definitely getting closer. And let's start with the longest tenured Giant on the roster, Sterling Shepard. Young Shep, what is good, my man? Sterling Shepard is running and cutting at Giants practices. There's a video on my Twitter, and he posted it on his Instagram story. You can go check out my Twitter at @MarshallGreen_, where he's working on routes. He's getting in and out of cuts, and he's cutting. And he's putting pressure on that leg, and he looks pretty good. And this one is for my man, Mr. Rick Cha, if you're watching. Sterling Shepard at OTAs was running routes in 7-on-7 with Tommy DeVito. Sterling Shepard was participating in 7-on-7 drills. That is a huge step in the right direction for Sterling Shepard. Injuries have really slowed down his career, no doubt about it, but it's May, and we don't play football for 4 more months, and he's already working in 7-on-7s. That is huge. But I'm going to be honest with you. He has an uphill battle to make this 53-man roster. As much as I love Sterling Shepard, and as maybe as he is my favorite New York Giant, just because how long he has been wearing the big blue, I don't know if he is a lock to make this roster. When I look at the current wide receiver depth chart for the New York Giants, the only guys that are roster locks, in my opinion, are Isaiah Hodgins, Wan'Dale Robinson, Darius Slayton, Paris Campbell, Jalen Hyatt. That is 5 guys. I believe the Giants will keep 7 guys. And I think those 2 last spots are going to come down between Sterling Shepard, Jamison Crowder, Colin Johnson, and Bryce Ford Wheaton. And even Jeff Smith might get that last spot because he is a special teams player. And when you're a special team specialist, it's easy to make the easy is not the right word. It's easier to make the roster, whereas if you're just a wide receiver. I will say this, though. Patty Traina, who does videos for Locked On Giants and covers the Giants, she is a beat reporter, put out a tweet, not a report, a tweet that says she believes that Sterling Shepard may start the season on the PUP list, which means it's a physically unable to perform list, which means you don't count against the 53-man roster to start the year. They let him get healthy in that time. I do know this, though. When Sterling Shepard plays, he is a good football player. The thing is, he's only played in 32 games in the last 4 seasons. That is simply not good enough. If you are a watcher of the show, you know what I'm about to say. The best ability is availability. And really, through the last 4 years, unfortunately, Sterling Shepard has not been able to shake that injury bug. And you need him out there more than what he has been. And that's kind of why the Giants are in the position, Sterling Shepard's in the position that he is in. That's why he signed a 1-year veteran minimum deal with the New York Giants. So I want to ask you guys this question. Will Sterling Shepard make the Giants roster? Will he make the 53-man roster? Will he be one of those 7 wide receivers the New York Giants keep? Let me know what you think down below. Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'm going to say yes, but I want to hear from you. This will be the pinned comment. Let me know. Will Shep make the roster? Wan'Dale Robinson, another wide receiver that had his season cut short due to an ACL injury. He has also been working on the side at OTAs, and a tweet from Patty Traina also said she would not be surprised if Wan'Dale Robinson, alongside Sterling Shepard, started the season on the PUP list. But here is Wan'Dale Robinson. As you see, he's got that leg sleeve on his knee, the one that he tore his ACL on. He's working on the side, and that's what you like to see. A guy that I think tore his ACL in week 8 of last year, already up and at him on the sideline, working around. No brace there as well. He's got a sleeve, but that is not a brace. It's a huge difference there. But back in January of 2023, Wan'Dale Robinson told ESPN's Jordan Renan that he's going to be ready to go week 1. And having him out there week 1 would be absolutely huge for the New York Giants. While he didn't have a great regular season, no doubt about it. He only played in 6 games. He had 23 receptions, 227 yards, 10 yards per catch, and 1 touchdown. But we started to see the type of player he was. In that game where he tore his ACL, he had 100 yards. He had like 8 or 9 catches. He had that touchdown the week before. You saw the role that the Giants had in mind for him when they selected him in the 2nd round out of Kentucky in the 2022 NFL draft. I think he's going to be good with the ball in his hands still. I am a little bit worried about the size, only 5'8", but I believe he is a good football player, and I believe he's going to be a difference maker for this team. And I'm not alone. Pro Football Focus and the Pro Football Network, the Draft Network, PFF and the Draft Network named Wan'Dale Robinson as a breakout candidate. So you have 2 publications now that are betting on Wan'Dale Robinson and him being a breakout candidate in the 2023 NFL season, and I can absolutely see that. We saw the juice that this guy has. We saw that he has potential to be a game changer when the ball is in his hands, and he can get those first downs on a quick little out route. He's a red zone target as well. We saw him off that pick and rub play with David Sills where he scored his touchdown. I believe Mike Kafka and Brian Dable trust in Wan'Dale Robinson, and I think he's going to be ready to go week 1. But the question I have for all the real ones right now is, which wide receiver is going to have more yards this year for Big Blue? Will it be Wan'Dale Robinson? Will it be Paris Campbell? You guys know that I think Paris Campbell is going to shock Giants Nation and the real ones out there a little bit this year. I think Paris Campbell is going to be a hell of a receiver. But I also think Wan'Dale Robinson is. So you help me decide who's going to have more yards. Type their initials in the comments down below. We're going to close out today's show talking about Darrian Beavers, the 6th round pick in the 2022 NFL Draft out of Cincinnati, inside linebacker. He tore his ACL prior to the season started, and he is still rehabbing from his ACL tear and has been a limited participant at OTAs. We do have a number change for Darrian Beavers. He switched his jersey to number 43. I think he was 41. Last year he switched to 43. The visor is swaggy as well, but he is getting some work at OTAs, and that's what I like to see. And I'm honestly expecting Darrian Beavers to be ready to go once training camp and the preseason starts rolling around. He'll be almost a year in since that ACL tear, and I think he's going to be ready to go. I think he's going to be a good football player. Bobby Okereke, the Giants' prize defensive free agent acquisition, feels the same way. Okereke was asked about some of the linebackers on this roster that he's been impressed with. He talked about Micah McFadden, and then he said Darrian Beavers has a lot of potential, and we saw that in the preseason. Big, strong, fast, can read his keys, get downhill, high IQ player. He could be a difference maker in this Wink Martindale defense. And speaking of Wink Martindale, he had a Huddle podcast interview. Huddle is the name of the place, had a podcast, and he pretty much said in that interview, the inside linebacker 2 spot is going to be between Jarrad Davis and Darrian Beavers. Right now, I have Davis at that second inside linebacker starting gig. That's what it sounds like it's been so far in OTAs, but it's not set in stone for sure. The only thing set in stone on this depth chart is Bobby Okereke being the Mike backer. Then you got guys like Davis and Coughlin and McFadden and Brown and Beavers. I believe Coughlin may be squeezed out of this linebacker room and not be a guy that makes the top 53. I doubt the Giants keep 6 inside linebackers. I know they like Cam Brown due to the special teams versatility. Micah McFadden can give you some of that, but McFadden is the guy that you drafted a year after Coughlin, and Coughlin's time might be running thin here with the New York Football Giants. Bobby Okereke said he was also impressed with Micah McFadden. So I want to ask all the real ones out there right now, who will be the inside linebacker number 2 alongside Okereke on this Giants defense for the 2023 season? Will it be Jarrad Davis or Jared Davis? I've heard it both ways. Micah McFadden or Darrian Beavers. Type their initials down below as to who you think will be inside linebacker number 2. As always, shout out to you guys. Thanks for being real ones. You're always showing support and you're always tuning in. Thank you to you guys. Remember, we can also chop it up about Big Blue over on my Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. So if you want to talk over there, I'm Gabe. Just give me a follow and send me a DM. Oh my gosh.
I'm so proud of you.
Dude, my stomach hurts so bad.
I'm so proud of you.
Woo!
I'm going to be typing my MMs just because of the name. I love the name Micah McFadden.
Micah McFadden is a good football name.
And it's a kind of a linebacker name. Like, it kind of screams linebacker a little bit.
Yeah. Bill said it. Okereke had some praise for Double M. He did. He did. I think I said that in the video. I hope I did.
No, you didn't.
Okay. Look, best man wins.
Yeah.
Best man wins. That's what I'm rolling with. I like Jared Davis. I've heard it both. It's Jared, Jarrad. I've heard him say it both ways.
It looks
Jarrad. That says Jarrad to me, but we have a guy, and I'm blanking on his name, that always watches the channel, and he's like, at Florida, he went by Jared, but now in the NFL, he goes by Jarrad. So I try to say it both ways, but
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Maybe I need to go listen to him recently and see what he said his name was. If healthy, I think Beavers is the best guy. But, man, Micah McFadden was graded out really well by Pro Football Focus in his last year in college. And Davis...
Also, Beavers was a freak at Cincinnati.
He was a freak, and he was great with the Giants in the preseason. Then he tore his ACL. You never know how those big guys get back. But I do think that Beavers probably has the most talent and the biggest opportunity here.
We will have a mailbag. Last little chance here. Get those questions in. Super chat. No matter what, you're getting on the show. Last little mailbag call before we get on into it.
If you want to be featured on the mailbag, just ask a comment or a question down in the comment section. Use #Giants, and that'll get your question up on screen. And super chats will also get up there as well. So if you super chat, we'll put that up on the show, or you can use #Giants to get on the video. All right. Let's close out today's show with a mailbag. Already been live for an hour and 20 minutes. Shout out to you guys for rocking with us. Still over 200 people watching right now. Shout out to you guys. Let's do it, though. Let's get into this mailbag right now. Yo, what up, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. In today's show, we got a mailbag on tap for the real ones. I'm answering questions from subscribers. So if you didn't get your question up on today's show, well, that's your problem. And the way you can fix that is by going down right now and hitting that big red sub button. Look, it may only be May, or maybe it's June when you're watching this, but it's never too early to sub for Giants Dubs. You love the Giants, you want them to win football games, and you want videos every day on the latest Giants news and rumors, hit that sub button and help us get to 30,000 subs. First question coming in from a real one. Giants will win the 2024 Super Bowl. What's up, Brody? He says, should the Giants sign Kareem Hunt to back up Saquon, or in case he doesn't sign the tag? I don't envision a world where Saquon Barkley does not sign the franchise tag. I don't think he's that type of guy. I don't think he's doing a Le'Veon Bell type of thing. Never say never, of course. But should they sign Kareem Hunt? I honestly kind of like the Giants running back room, but I don't think that any of their guys in the depth chart are as good as Kareem Hunt. I know 3.8 yards per carry might shy some people away for Kareem Hunt. Still 123 carries, 468 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's a tough runner through the tackles, but he's also a guy that could be a threat out of the backfield. I actually kind of compare him a little bit to Eric Gray, the player the Giants drafted this past year. I think Gray's a little bit more shifty, but he's versatile. 35 catches and a touchdown through the air for Kareem Hunt. I think he's a good player, and he's played in that Kansas City offense before. Mike Kafka, actually not sure if they actually overlap, but they played in the same type of offense. But when you look at this Giants running back depth chart, I think the question is, do you think that they need another running back? I like Matt Breida. I like Eric Gray. I don't mind Gary Brightwell and Ja'Shawn Corbin for a young buck. The UDFA has got a little bit of juice. I honestly don't think it's worth it to go out and sign Kareem Hunt. I think Giants have bigger needs. I think they could use another edge rusher, and I don't think that they need to go spend money on another backup running back when they already signed Breida and they went out and drafted Eric Gray. I guess that was in the 6th round. But look, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you want him. He's a good player. I'm not saying he's not a good player. I'm just not sure if I would bring him in for the price point at this point. I think Giants have bigger areas of need. What do you think? Should they sign Kareem Hunt? Type S for sign or P for pass. Sam Lubna coming in with a question. Says, can we get a breakdown on Bryce Ford Weed? Let me pull up his combine measurables here. He is an absolute freak. There is no doubt about it. This is someone that a lot of people are in love with, and for good reason, right? He's 6'4", 221 pounds, ran a 4.38 40, had a 41-inch vertical, a 10-foot, 9-inch broad jump, a 3-cone drill of 6.9 seconds, a 20-yard shuttle of 4.15 seconds. He had an 88 athletic score. He was the most athletic in the 2023 Combine wide receiver rankings, but his production score was only a 59. A little bit of problem there, no doubt about it. I don't think he ever had more than 800 receiving yards at West Virginia. But you see 6'4", 220, and 4.3 40 and 41-inch vertical, you fall in love with that, no doubt about it. Can he be a good player? Yes. Can he make this roster? Yes. But let's not forget, he's a UDFA, and he's going to have to earn everything he's going to get in the National Football League. Giants gave him a good little signing bonus, so I think they believe in him. Only time will tell. I mean, I hope he's a wide receiver one, because that would solve the Giants' problems. But at the end of the day, he's UDFA, and I'm not going to put pressure on a UDFA. But, man, size, speed, measurables, he checks all those boxes. We'll get to more questions from subs coming up in a second. But first, make sure you guys are hooked up with our proud sponsor of today's show, and that is Bird Dogs. Go to birddogs.com and use the promo code CHAT, and they're going to hook you guys up with a free Yeti-style tumbler to keep your drinks cool or your coffee hot here in the summer as the sun starts to act up. And I'm going to be honest, with the sun acting up, the shorts you guys got to be rocking are Bird Dogs because, 1, they're comfy. 2, they're swaggy. 3, they're versatile, and 4, they're lightweight and comfy. Whether it's hot, you don't feel hot in these shorts. You may look hot, but you're not going to feel hot. The fabric is awesome. The stretch and the fit are pristine. Bird Dogs has mastered looking good and feeling good, and they have gotten it done, and that's why I am a fan of Bird Dogs, because you look good, you feel good, and you feel good, you play good, and you play good, they pay good, and I'm looking good in my Bird Dogs. You could do the same. birddogs.com, promo code chat, best shorts in the game. I promise you, you guys are going to love them. What up to Tanashi? What up? If we get D-Hop, does it make us the second best team over the Cowboys in the division? I'm going to be honest. I think you might be the first best team in the division. Obviously, you got to go out and prove it. You got to go out and beat the Eagles. You got to go out and beat the Cowboys. Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Darren Waller, DeAndre Hopkins, Isaiah Hodgins, Jalen Hyatt, Paris Campbell, Sterling Shepard, Wan'Dale Robinson, Andrew Thomas. That's one of the best offenses in the National Football League, and you got a good defense, the strong defensive coordinator. I think DeAndre Hopkins is a move that really elevates this team overall, and I think that it really could help this team out in the long run. I'm a fan of going out and signing DeAndre Hopkins. Giants can create a lot of cap money by restructuring or extending Leonard Williams and Adoree Jackson and getting a deal done with Saquon Barkley. So the money's not a problem. It's do they want to commit that type of money and have maybe a couple of, I guess, long-term cap penalties? That's not the best way to describe it, but look, you got to risk something to make something. Scare money don't make money. And if the Giants want to make moves, you got wide receiver 1 staring you in the face right now. Joe says, when will we sign Saquon Barkley? So they have until, I believe it's mid-July, for Saquon Barkley and the Giants to talk about a long-term contract extension. So we'll see. We'll see. It's coming up sooner rather than later. I think they're going to get a deal done. I think both sides are motivated. Saquon wants to be a Giant. John Mara and Joe Shane and Brian Dable want him to be a Giant as well. Who's going to give up something? Who's going to give up something? I think Saquon's back. I do, Joe. Robert Rodriguez, what up, homie? The MVP here on the channel says, do you really think that the Bills and Chiefs are front runners for D-Hop? I do, to be honest with you. I think those are the 2 top teams that are going to be interested in DeAndre Hopkins. When you look at the next team odds for Hopkins in Vegas, they got the Cowboys at number 1. I don't think that's happening. They got the Chiefs, Patriots, and Bills rounding out the top 4. Then you got the Eagles at 5, Ravens at 6, and the Giants, Bears, Jets, and Browns. I just think that DeAndre Hopkins at this point in his career probably wants to chase a Lombardi trophy. And the Chiefs probably want to sign Hopkins so he doesn't go to the Bills. And the Bills probably want to sign Hopkins so he doesn't go to the Chiefs. Yeah, I think they're probably the top 2 favorites. I mean, if you're a pass catcher, do you not want to go play for Mahomes and Josh Allen? Maybe you want to go play with Daniel Jones, though. Maybe not. We'll see. I think it's definitely going to be interesting, and I think a lot of teams are going to be interested in it. No doubt about it. Treat me nicely. Treat me nice. Love the Avi there, my man. Drake May, he's a stud. What player is taking a big step? What player taking a big step would help the Giants the most? Okay, I like this question. So if there's a player on this roster that takes a huge step, which one is going to help him? I got to go Evan Neal. I really do believe Evan Neal is the guy that if he takes a huge step this year and goes from being a rookie, raw, struggling right tackle to being a top 20 offensive tackle in the league, I think this team is going to benefit greatly. You got a strong left tackle in Andrew Thomas. And then if you turn that into having a strong right tackle in Evan Neal, and you have bookend tackles that are both top 7 picks in the National Football League, you have a really good offense. And imagine if John Michael Schmitz is a good rookie center. And whether it be Ben Bredesen or Joshua Ezeudu starting at that left guard. Mark Lewinsky, not great, not bad, but a solid right guard. Nonetheless, I think Evan Neal is the guy that if he goes from being what he was last year to being a top 20 player at his position, this Giants offense is going to take an absolute huge step, no doubt about it. That would be me. That would be my guess. I think Evan Neal is the guy that is going to kind of have the Giants' success teeter-totter on his back. He's good, Giants are going to be good. He's bad, it's going to be an awful tough kind of hurdle you got to overcome again. And if he's bad again this year, because he was bad last year, no doubt about it. Can he get better? Yes. I'm not going to say since he was bad and Andrew Thomas was bad and Andrew Thomas was good, that means Evan Neal's going to be good. No, that's not how life works. But if Evan Neal can become good, this is going to be a damn good offensive lineman. Really is. I'll ask you, though, what is your confidence level in Evan Neal? 1 to 10. 1 being you're not confident, 10 you are. I'll tell you this much. He struggles again. He might be playing guard here in the NFL pretty soon. Last question on today's show from a man, Rage909. What moves do still need to make to get over the hump? Some guys I'm looking at. I think you need another edge rusher. I really do. I like Thibodeau and I like Ojulari, but they have injury issues. They do. I think you need a guy there. Maybe you go out and get DeAndre Hopkins. Maybe you go out and sign a guy like Dalton Reisner. I think maybe you go out and sign another corner, but the only moves I really still see them making is for an edge rusher, a receiver, and then lower level, bottom of the roster move that they're going to make as they're trying to get down to 53 players. D-Hop, Leonard Floyd, Justin Houston, Robert Quinn, like one of those edge rushers, a supplementary piece. And D-Hop. Go get me D-Hop. Let's go. Shout out to everyone, as always, for tuning in to today's videos. We love doing mailbags. I love just chopping it up with you guys and hearing questions from all the real ones. So we appreciate you. If we missed your question today, go yell at me on Twitter. I'll answer it over there, I promise, at @MarshallGreen_. Jesus, I need some water.
That boot.
Woo! Gilly, yeah, we tried to tell you. Our system crashed.
Yeah, we had to reset all the questions, so we lost yours.
We lost a whole bunch of questions, Gilly. That's why Seeps told you if you could ask your question again with #Giants. But I'll answer this. I'll answer it for you right now. Gilly says, I think we need an edge more than a wide receiver. I'm choosing Leonard Floyd over Hopkins if it comes to that. Thoughts?
Both are positive additions.
Yeah, you get better with both those guys. Like, if they choose one over the other, I'm not going to be mad. If I had to choose, though, I think I go Hopkins.
I think I'll go Hopkins just because of what we've seen with, like, Josh Allen getting Diggs, Jalen Hurts getting A.J. Brown. Like, if maybe you get Daniel Jones, his guy, you'll see that next step.
Kirk Cousins getting Justin Jefferson. Like, he was good with Diggs, but he took another step.
Yeah.
And I think a wide receiver 1 is more important than an edge 3.
Yeah, definitely. And then plus, like we were saying, that would open up so many other looks for like Hodgins, Hyatt. Like they're not getting number
Barkley
one.
too. Like
Barkley.
if you have Hyatt on one side, Waller in that slot, and then you have Hopkins on the other side with Barkley in the backfield.
Somebody's getting one-on-one.
And how many people are you putting in the box?
Yeah, true.
Gilly, you make a good point. Like, it's a tough decision for me. I just think that a wide receiver 1 is more important than an edge 3.
Yeah, and plus, like, with how just the NFL, it's been doing it the past couple of years, just shifting towards offense. Like, receivers have almost became, like, if you don't have receivers, good luck trying to make a deep playoff run. Like, the Giants were the kind of anomaly last year.
Yeah.
Like,
why don't we go out and sign Justin Houston or Robert Quinn for the veteran minimum and then go get D-Hop?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you need a 10-sack guy as your third edge rusher. Yeah. It's great. I mean, I'm not going to be mad. Giants go out. I did a video on it on Saturday. Giants signed Leonard Floyd. I'm going to be pumped. Giants signed DeAndre Hopkins. I'm going to be a little more pumped, though.
Yeah.
Hopkins, Waller, Barkley. I'm not sure there's a better receiver, tight end, running back trio in the league.
And then also, like, what we saw, I mean, again, connecting it to the Josh Allen Diggs thing, look at what Brian Dable did with a true star wide receiver. Like, he could probably get more out of Hopkins than any other coach has gotten out of Hopkins in the past, too. Even though he is 30, but we could maybe, who knows, maybe see one of his better years coming up.
Leonard Floyd's 30.
Yeah.
Kind of wild. He'll actually be 31 when the season starts.
Leonard Floyd is 31.
He's 30 years old in 263 days.
I would have called he was 27.
I thought so too. I'd still take him, though. I'd still take him. And Rob, you got a great tight end, too, in Daniel Bellinger. You're 100% right. Bill's right.
Yeah,
Your offensive coordinator, your coach, and your receiver coach with D-Hop would be nuts. Yeah. Pedro says, I think we should make Jalen Hyatt our superstar wide receiver and develop him. You can develop him with DeAndre Hopkins on this team. Like, I saw some site say the Giants shouldn't go out and sign D-Hop because they need to develop Jalen Hyatt and Bryce Ford-Wheaton. Bryce Ford-Wheaton is a UDFA, guys. I know we love him. He's a UDFA.
Don't get enamored with the height and speed.
Like, why can't we have an all-pro Hall of Fame wide receiver and develop those guys?
I'll make a connection. The Vikings. Jefferson's rookie year, he wasn't number one in targets on the team. It was Adam Thielen still. Like, and Jefferson didn't even play the first 2 weeks of the year. Like, I don't think having another superstar at that position kind of means this guy can't develop into.
And it's NFL is such a year-to-year league.
Yeah.
Like everything's so different.
And who says Hyatt? You want to talk about development? Hey D-Hop, let me ask you this after practice about running my routes. Let me get your advice on foreseeing this during the week. Like, how would you attack that defense?
You know what's really good for development as well? If you're Jalen Hyatt, getting one-on-one coverage with no safety over the top.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you want your guy to develop. It would be better if he wasn't getting doubled the entire game.
Like you can't put a safety over the top. You can't put two guys to Hyatt if Hopkins is on the other side.
Yeah, well, and then plus with Darren Waller. Like, I mean, God, could you imagine if you just let Jalen Hyatt just be like, he would be a perfect example of just like some games he'll go for 5 for 130 with if Hopkins is on the Giants, 5 for 130 and 2 tuds. But then we'll have other weeks where he'll be quiet. But
all you need is one catch from him.
One catch, he could take it to the house.
Oh, it's Crimmy in the chat. What up, Crims?
Yeah, my bad. Marsh and I just had to drop too much ball knowledge on you guys right there.
It's just our takes. Everyone's got their takes. Mine are just usually right. Yeah. Aaron says Saquon Hop Wall.
Yeah, it's got a nice ring to it, Aaron.
Bryce Ford-Wheaton. I can't believe that person said that. You can't sign Hopkins because of Bryce Ford-Wheaton? That was a stupid
Bryce Ford-Wheaton, I love him, but he might not make the team even if you don't get Hopkins. Like, and it's funny because, like, what about Colin Johnson? Like, if everybody's getting enamored with height and speed guys, Colin Johnson's bigger than Bryce Ford-Wheaton. Like, don't forget about my man Colin Johnson. I love Colin Johnson. But there's also a reason, Marsh. There's a reason Bryce Ford-Wheaton had, I think it was like 600 yards last year in college.
He never had over 750 yards.
In the Big 12.
Look, he's got everything you want, right? But how about we go with the guy that's done it and going to be a Pro Football Hall of Famer? Because that's what DeAndre Hopkins is going to be.
I mean, could you imagine with D-Hop with the speed of Wan'Dale and Jalen Hyatt as those, like if you're running like 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back, and you go D-Hop, Jalen Hyatt, Wan'Dale, Waller, you can either put him on the line of scrimmage or stand him up and put him in the slot, and then having Saquon in the backfield, Saquon getting one-on-ones with linebackers, and then, hey, with D-Hop, you want to be able to double Waller, so Waller would be getting a ton of one-on-ones with linebackers. And, hey, Giants fans, you guys kicked their ass in the playoffs, but that's why Hawkinson was able to be so effective against the Giants because the safeties were all focused on Jefferson. Like, it's kind of that same thing.
DeAndre Hopkins is 36th all-time in receiving yards. Why would we not sign that guy to develop Bryce Ford-Wheaton?
Yeah, and he's
a Hall of Famer.
He's also played with, besides Watson, that little 3-year
terrible
run,
quarterbacks.
Terrible quarterbacks. Like, terrible offensive. I mean, Bill O'Brien, he was a good head coach for a little bit until he took over, but as GM. But
wild. Oh, man.
Good point, Bill. I am very curious to see what the Giants will do at receiver.
Man, oh, man. All righty. We're going to put a 2-minute shot clock on, and then we're going to sign off. We're at $550 in Super Chats. If we get to 600, we're going to close out the show with one more beer shot fun race. If not, no sweat. We're going to sign off, though. We've already been live for an hour and 40 minutes. Did we get to Jess Mulligan's super chat? I don't know. It says, will Bryce Ford Wheaton make an impact this year?
Nada. Or we can talk about it.
Look, I don't think so. I don't. Jesse, also thank you for your first ever super chat. Sorry for us missing that. Shout out to you. Jesse, I got a shot at tequila for you. Look, it's hard for UDFAs to make an impact, man.
Yeah. One was like, especially rookie year.
Rookie year.
Probably the last one I can think of top of the head is Philip Lindsay, his running back for the Broncos. But
like it even took Victor Cruz a couple of years. Took Victor Cruz a couple of years.
He was a UDFA.
He was a UDFA. Remember all those catches he had against the Jets on that Monday Night Football game in the preseason wearing number 3? He didn't even play that year. It was the next year that he came on. Yeah. So
Cheers.
Jesse.
A little spicy.
And then
oh yeah,
Robert Rodriguez. Bang! A 50. Rob,
I can mentally prepare for this right now.
Rob, you're a freaking badass, dude. Rob, everyone here at Chat Sports, me, Seeps, just thank you. Thank you. It's because people like Rob and everyone in the chat right now. We've been live for an hour and 40 minutes, and we still got 152 people watching. That's why.
I like the comparison, Bill. I like the comparison.
I just can't get behind the Bryce Ford Wheaton stuff, man. I just can't. We had people on Giants social media, like legit accounts, the fan-sided accounts, say the Giants should not go out and sign DeAndre Hopkins because they have to develop Bryce Ford Wheaton. Yeah, for sure.
Totally.
Bryce Ford Wheaton blows. He can't even catch. He had 600 yards in the Big 12. Okay, that was a little much. He doesn't blow. On Heat? Let's ride. Hey, Crimmy. Crimmy, what do you think of the Heat report? You like the Heat report? Gerard says Cruz got in. That's my point. Like, stuff happens. A lot of stuff comes up in the way. Draw more. Like, it's very rare you see a UDFA in their rookie year produce. Like, shit happens. Prime Megatron. Are you in Miami too, Crim's dad? All righty. We're closing out the show with a beer shot fun race for my man Rob Rodriguez. Robert, you're an MVP, brother. You're an MVP. All righty. I'm done after this one. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, fuck. That's a good eye there, Rolly. He says, I'm in Aventura, Florida, right next to Miami. Crims is. All righty. We are going to sign off here on the show. You guys are awesome. Best damn fans in the world. Freaking love you guys. All righty. We're going to have videos the rest of the week, obviously on the channel. And we'll be live again Monday around this time. Shout out to you guys. Love y'all. Let's freaking go, Giants. Let's go get D-Hop.